Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and this time you join me from the passenger seat of my girlfriend's car because we're actually both on our way to the gym. And I'm quite surprised I'm even in any fit state to go to the gym today, because yesterday I did something for the first time, and it's something that I've always thought about doing for years and years and years, something that I'd sort of fantasized about doing every time I sort of get myself on track and try and sort my life out and stay away from drink and drugs. Oh, on that note, for those of you who are interested, I'm now on 71 days clean, which is awesome. As I mentioned before, this is easily my longest streak for years and years and years. But yeah, yesterday I did something for the first time, as I say, something that I'd sort of always thought about trying. And yeah, yesterday I went and did my first ever boxing class. Now, it almost killed me. It was way more intense than any of the sessions we do at the gym. Yeah, it really does work your whole body. And the instructor actually, when I got there, he sort of said, you know, take a time out whenever you need to. I don't want you puking all over the gym floor. And yeah, that sort of set a thing in my mind. It was like, right, I'm determined not to have a time out at all throughout the whole thing. And I did end up having about 5 minutes rest, but it was only because, you know, some of the exercises we were doing, I was sort of working with the coach, and then when everyone switched round, you know, one person held the bag and one person punching the bag, the coach sort of said to me, oh, you know, we won't switch around, you can have another go. And that's when I decided to have a rest. But yeah, it was absolutely awesome. Definitely going to be going back. I've already messaged the coach about going back in about a week's time. Yeah, awesome workout. I felt dead afterwards, but felt really, really good. I was literally covered in sweat. And yeah, man, really looking forward to carrying on with the boxing thing, just as another way to keep fit physically and mentally. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video today while it's sort of like raw, and while I'm, you know, really excited that I did actually pull the trigger and go boxing for the first time. And, you know, I'm sure all of you out there have, you know, thought about doing something, you know, whether it be something to better yourself or just something you've always wanted to try. And, you know, you might have sort of talked yourself out of it. I know I've done that with loads of things in the past. And I just want to say, if you want to try something, you know, don't let your mind hold you back. Just go and try it. Like, even if, you know, like, for example, when I went boxing yesterday, even if I came out of there deciding that it wasn't for me, it still would have been beneficial to me, because, you know, I've actually gone and done it, and I haven't allowed my mind to talk me out of it. You know, even during the day yesterday, I was, you know, watching videos on YouTube, like searching for, you know, am I too old to go to try boxing for the first time in my 30s? And obviously I come across a couple of videos that were saying, you know, being very positive about it and saying, no, you know, try it out. But yeah, even though I know, and, you know, I sort of study, you know, my own mind on a day-to-day basis, because I have to sort of keep myself on track, you know, I could see my mind like trying to talk me out of it, you know. And yeah, I just had to acknowledge those thoughts for what they were. They are just thoughts. They're not true, you know. My mind was trying to make it seem as if my age meant that I shouldn't be going to this boxing class, or the fact that I'm not a fighter, you know, was making me think that boxing wouldn't be for me. You know, the fact that I knew it was going to be really intense in terms of, you know, stamina and stuff. You know, all these thoughts were going through my mind, trying to talk me out of going to this boxing class yesterday. But, you know, I just took them for what they were, kept myself in the present moment, you know, where deep down I knew that I wanted to try out boxing. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I did. I know that Dapper Laughs, who is also on his sort of sobriety journey at the moment, he started going boxing every day. I've been watching his podcasts, Menace to Sobriety. And yeah, boxing is awesome. I need to now go and get myself some kit, get myself some gloves and some other stuff so that I can start taking it a bit more seriously. But yeah, it is just another way of me keeping fit, and it really does work your whole body. Like, I'll talk you through the session just in case any of you guys are sort of thinking about going to your own boxing fitness class, you know, just to give you an idea of what to expect, because I didn't know what to expect. You know, that was one of the sort of things in my mind that was trying to kind of persuade me not to go. So you know, when we first turned up, he sort of had us, you know, walking around the outside of the gym, and then that turned into like a light jog, and you know, every now and again he'd tell you to sort of change direction, and then every now and again he'd tell you to pick up the pace so you're going more of a fast run. And then obviously changing direction every now and again. Then every now and again he'd tell everyone to stop and sort of get down and do 10 press-ups or do some star jumps or whatever, and then carry on. And then after that sort of warm-up session was finished, he had us all sort of, you know, line up and face in the ring. He was inside the ring, which was at the back of the gym, and yeah, it was just like shadow boxing and stuff. I don't know what to do, you know what I mean? But we've all done some sort of shadow boxing in the past, so yeah, I was just sort of winging it, and he was telling everyone, you know, whether to sort of jab and then punch, or, you know, 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 4, and, you know, just telling everyone to stay on your toes and that, and sort of keep your head moving so you're not in the same position at any one time, obviously, because if you're boxing you need to keep your head moving to not get hit. And then, yeah, after that was done, then everyone put their gloves on. I had to use the smelly gloves from the basket at the gym, because I don't have my own ones yet. And then we sort of paired up, and I was paired up with him because there was an odd number. And yeah, it was sort of one person hold the bag and one person hit the bag, and he was sort of telling you how to hit the bag. So he'd sort of be saying, you know, keep punching for the head, and, you know, or keep punching for the body. And then again, like with the shadow boxing, it'd sort of say, you know, 1 2 or 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 4. And then sort of you'd go through, like, say, half a minute of just like sort of hitting it but lightly, you know, to catch your breath, and then you would do a minute of like just whacking it as hard as you can, like, and that was killer. Like, you know, you'd get sort of halfway through that bit and, you know, you're dead, you know, your mind and your body has had enough, but obviously whoever's holding the bag is there, like, encouraging you. And then it was at that point where we was like going to switch round, so I was going to hold the bag, but he said, you know, because he's the instructor, don't worry, you can sort of have another go. And I was like, no, I'll have a timeout. And then after that, everyone sort of like stood in front of each other rather than, you know, with the bag in between us, and then it was sort of like sparring but not sparring, if you know what I mean, just like a body spar sort of thing. And he was telling us, you know, whether we should just be jabbing or whether we should be using both hands or whatever. And then after that, we'd literally stand close so that our left feet were literally next to each other, so you're like really in close sort of body sparring, like, and then it was just sort of like hit and be hit, you know, you just keep hitting and getting hit. And yeah, then that whole sort of thing with the bag and then the sort of technical sparring thing circled again, so you done that again. And then at the end it was just sort of a load of abs work, so all different types of sit-ups and stuff. And then after each sort of round of that, it would tell us to do 10 press-ups. And yeah, it's a killer. Like, the whole thing was a killer. Like, at home when I do press-ups, like, I'm lucky if I can do 15, and then, you know, as I've mentioned before, I do sort of 3 exercises and 2 sets of each, so I'm lucky if I can do 15 press-ups, then I do my other 2 exercises, and then I go back, and I'm lucky if I can do another 10. So yeah, probably done more press-ups last night than I've done in one day for, well, since I was a kid. But yeah, after the press-ups and sit-ups, he just went through a load of stretches and stuff, and yeah, that was the end. So it was like literally a full-on, like, full body workout, but with the fun side of boxing, you know. And I came out of there full of endorphins, full of positivity, covered in sweat, like, and yeah, I can't wait to go back again. But you know, I just wanted to make this video because I know what it's like. You know, there's things that you want to do in life that, you know, you might not get time to do because you're busy, or, you know, you might not have the funds to do or whatever. But then there's also stuff that you want to do that your mind just talks you out of. You know, literally for 10 plus years, I've sort of fantasized about going and do some boxing. Like, you know, every time I've sort of tried to give up drugs and stuff, it's been a thing where, oh, you know, I'll start running around the block or whatever, or doing, you know, whatever, and then you're sort of like, oh, when I get a bit fit, I'll go and do some boxing. So I just don't get to that point. But it's always like something in the future, you know, in the future I'll try boxing, in the future I'll try boxing. And, you know, you're better off just being like, right now I want to try boxing, or whatever it is you want to try, and just book it. You know, if I didn't think like that a week ago, or whatever it was, when I was sort of thinking about it, oh, you know, having this thought for the 200th time, oh, I want to try boxing. If I didn't think to myself, in that moment, I want to try boxing, so I'm going to book it now, I probably wouldn't have booked it. And you know, once you've booked it, you've started the ball rolling, and then you've just got to overcome your mind trying to talk you out of it, which is inevitable. It happened to me. And yeah, just accept that when your mind is doing that, it's just not serving you, and it's trying to talk you out of something that you actually want to do. And yeah, you know, anything that you've thought about trying that you haven't tried because your mind's talked you out of it, go and book it now and go and do it. Like, you owe it to yourself. And even if it is something that you don't end up pursuing, you know, maybe you do it the once and you don't like it, you're still going to benefit because you've gone and done what you wanted to do, rather than allowing your mind to talk you out of doing what you want to do. So anyway, I think that's enough rambling for one video. I just really wanted to make this video while it was sort of so fresh in my mind, and you know, I wanted to portray to you like how proud I am and happy I am of myself for, you know, going to my first boxing class. And you know, as I say, I am gonna, you know, try and keep going once a week, as well as keeping up with, you know, going to the gym and stuff. It's funny, my girlfriend yesterday was like, "Oh, are you sure you're gonna be all right for the gym tomorrow?" Like, and yeah, here I am. I'm just so glad that it's leg day because my jab arm is, oh, I can barely lift it. And the other one isn't far behind either. But yeah, that's it for this video. Do let me know in the comments anything that you guys have really wanted to try for the first time but you haven't yet. Yeah, put it in the comments now, and then go on the internet now and book it, or you know, start the ball rolling for you to go and do that thing that you've wanted to do for ages. But yeah, other than that, massive thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.